Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes. Today, let's talk Negan signals the end of The Walking Dead. Alright, so a lot of you guys sent me a link to an article on Smosh.com, and the article is 6 Reasons Negan Signals the End of The Walking Dead. Now listen, a ton of you asked for my opinion on this, so instead of answering you all one at a time, let's just do this in a video and let's knock this out. What they did is they'll do a title and then they'll explain their reasons down below. So if you want to read all their explanations and how they came to that conclusion, go ahead on the website. I will leave the link in the description. But I'm going to knock these out, so let's start with number 1. Negan is the final boss. After him, everyone else pales in comparison. This I highly disagree with, obviously, because he's not the final boss. In the comic, there's someone that rises up after him. Now, given this person is a whole new level of messed up, and that's what I love about refreshing stories and changing the bad guys around, because Negan is completely different than the Governor. The Governor was just a psychopath. He was a sicko. He was a nasty son of a bitch. He was touched in the head. Now, I know a lot of people call Negan a psychopath and sociopath and whoop-de-whoop, but Negan is clearly different from the Governor. However, Alpha is different from both of them, and Alpha is, at least right now, the new big bad. So no, he's not the final boss. And Alpha's pretty nasty. I mean, I know they say everyone else pales in comparison, but besides Negan's physical strength, Alpha definitely gives him a run for his money on nastiness, you know? Number 2, it's too repetitive. They lose their home after defeating a big bad, is what they say. Now, that's utter bullshit, because if I look back, even in the TV show, they've only ever lost the prison, right? Yeah, that was the only one. They've had the prison, it was attacked, they lost that. Now, yes, they were searching for other areas, and they've found, different areas to sleep overnight, but that doesn't make it their, like, the church doesn't count. That was somewhere they just slept the night. That house that Rick and Carl found is the same thing. It's somewhere they just rested up for a few days. So, yeah, because Joe and the Claimers come, like, none of that matters. That doesn't count. The prison, it was once that it was attacked. Now, Alexandria, it's being attacked, but in a totally different way, or it will be attacked. Because when Negan comes, it's not like the Governor. He's not saying, I want you out and go, I want your, town. That's not it at all. It's a whole different thing. I don't want to spoil it here, but trust me, it's nothing like the Governor. So, too repetitive? Nah, forget about it. Besides, I say this all the time. We signed on for a never-ending story, or I should say, a continuing story in the zombie apocalypse. I mean, I expect lots of zombies and lots of assholes. I don't know what else you expect. Yes, throw us some original fresh material here and there, but for the most part, I mean, come on, we signed up for this. Number 3, it's going to surpass the comics. Now, this is bullshit. Even if it does surpass the comics, which I still think there's a good chance it'll never pass the comics. It'll take them another 4 years to cover as much ground as the comics has currently. And I'm talking like with the end of the Whisper story and all that. So, within the next 4 years, the comic will obviously, since it's still going, make new material that will cover, I don't know, another year or two. Besides getting into a debate on how much material they can use to the show and yada yada yada, the simple point is it's not surpassing the comics anytime soon. Not this year, not next year, not the year after that. We definitely have at least 3 seasons before we even come close to where the comic is currently. After 3 years, the comic's adding new material. See what I'm saying? So that's bullshit. Number 4, they should start running out of zombies soon. Now, this is complete bullshit, and this goes towards the debate between realism in a zombie show. I want zombies is the only fake thing in the show, The Walking Dead. Everything else, I want it to be grounded in reality, because I think that makes the best horror movies, is when you have that one thing. It could be an element that's supernatural, whatever, whoop-de-whoop. It could be, fake, totally bullshit. It can never happen like zombies. However, everything else, I want it grounded in reality, because to me, that's scarier. if you have some crazy shit going on, if people can jump from the floor and land on the roof of a building, that just ruins it. When you're talking about zombies running out, now you're getting into that, well, we got something fake, but we want to turn that into some kind of realist. Okay, they rot in, takes 12 days, 12 months, I'm sorry. So if they rot in 12 months, they should be all dead. Let's calculate how many zombies and how long it will. Oh, look at that. They could just stay indoors for 4 years and the zombie apocalypse is over. No. 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 First off, the creators have already said that whatever in the zombie virus preserves them. Second thing is there's always new zombies being made, so running out of zombies is not a problem. Number 5, society seems to be returning. Now this was an odd one, and this one it felt like they're trying to stretch or reach for something. It was like they didn't want to do a top 5, so they did a top 6, but they needed to add this one in here. It doesn't make sense. Saying that we're seeing, a resemblance of society is like saying, well, what's the point of watching westerns? Because it's like them, it's just the same as living nowadays. Yeah, that was a stupid comparison, but it's as stupid as this. We're watching them surviving during a zombie apocalypse. So of course we're going to move past the outbreak. That's the point of this story. It's to watch the characters after a movie would have ended, a long time ago. That's the main selling point of creating this story. And that's exactly what Robert Kirkman said. That is what made him write this story. So the person making this list is saying something that contradicts, the very essence of this show. That's how bad they didn't even think before they made this list. Such a shitty list. Let's move on to number 6. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is too big of a guest star. He will only last a season or 2. Now this just goes to show how this person just made anything, threw this list together for clickbait. Now I'm convinced, because they didn't do a damn bit of research at all. Or if they would have listened to Jeffrey Dean Morgan and maybe, watched an interview or 2, they would have seen that he is in love with the idea of him playing Negan. He wanted it. I mean, bad. The very first interview I've seen where he was like, his agents all like, hey, we got this role for The Walking Dead, and he's like, is it Negan? It's fucking Negan, ain't it? This dude wants this. He's not going to go, I'm done. 1 season, that's all I'll give you. They know when they bring him in there, listen, dude, this is a recurring role. We're going to need you for, 3 seasons, maybe 4. This is all hammered out beforehand. So this whole he's only going to do 1 season bullshit, that's crazy. And they compare it to the governor. Like, that matters. Like, oh, the governor did a season and a half. So that's all Negan's getting. What? Yeah, so if you want my opinion on this list, it's shit. It's absolute shit. And I freestyled this. I didn't look at this and write down my ideas. I looked at the list, wrote down the titles, didn't think about it, hit record. So by the time I got to the 5 and 6 and let that sink in, now I'm annoyed. Because this list is fucking stupid. And you should be ashamed not only to have written this list, but also to be the website that posted this list. It is shameful clickbait, and let's move on to a real topic. Alright, I'm done talking. Listen, put all your comments down below. What do you think of this list? Obviously, I got a little harsh there at the end, but I strongly disagree with this list. I think it's ridiculous. Give me your thoughts and opinions. If you love the list, if you think it's great, that's fine. Help me understand. Leave your thoughts and opinions down in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn.
Subscribe now.